Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Gary Gibson with Southern Christian Children's Home in Morrilton's our guest, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm Perry Black, and on this show we have a very special guest all the way from Morrilton, Arkansas, right there off of I-40, Gary Gibson with the Southern Christian Children's Home. Gary, we want to welcome you to the show and to the VTN viewing audience. And folks are wondering, who is Gary Gibson? That's what I've been wondering. I've never met you. I've just met you in the foyer just a few minutes ago. So tell me about you, if you don't mind. Where'd you grow up?
Okay, that's a pretty
scary, that's Oklahoma.
Scary thought, yes, sir.
That is a scary thought.
My dad's from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
My mom's from Amarillo, Texas.
Amarillo.
So I was born in Amarillo, Texas, and met my wife in the 7th grade, and we got married somewhere between the 7th grade and graduation from college.
Shortly after the 7th grade, you got married.
Yes, sir.
So how long you been married?
47 years today.
Today?
Yes, sir.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
So you're actually older than you look.
Yes, sir.
Because I've been married 51 years.
Okay.
Same woman, too. Isn't that a miracle?
Right, it is.
Yeah. 47 years today.
Today.
So we won't mention on television what today is, because this is a delayed broadcast.
Okay.
But 47 years. So by the time we're sharing this, it's been a little over 47 years.
Good.
So you got like a little shoe like Mother Hubbard and a whole bunch of kids?
We have 6 children.
6? So the oldest must be in their 40s?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He serves the church over in Sweetwater, Texas, married and has two children, Brody and Mallory.
Do you even know the name of the town at Second Chance Youth Ranch? You know what it is?
I do not.
Sweetwater.
Okay. There you go.
We got a sign out there by one of our offices, welcome to Sweetwater.
There you go.
It's a small world.
Same signs in Sweetwater, Texas.
Oh, gosh. But you don't sound like a Texan. Are you from North Texas?
Is that good?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good. That's good. Yeah, we're from North Texas. We're from the Panhandle. Yeah. You know, anything north of Dallas, Texans call North Texas.
Yeah.
And so, but we're actually the Panhandle. We call it the Crown of Texas.
All right, so let's do a test now. We know your anniversary. Let's name off the ages of the children and what are they, who are they, and where are they?
Okay, my grandchildren, I have 6.
Well, don't go to grandchildren. I want to know about your kids first.
Well, I have to do it backwards because I'm that old.
How many grandchildren?
So I have 6 grandchildren. They're all 7 because I don't know their ages. They're actually somewhere between about 7, 9, 12, 14, and 16.
Golly. My oldest grandson is 24, used to work here in our TV department. He's in IT now at a major corporation, married. My 3rd oldest grandchild is 21. She is literally with her Air Force husband driving right now to Idaho to their new air base.
Okay.
Just got back from Italy from a tour over there for a couple of years. So, and my youngest is a high school senior this fall. So, and I've got 7 grandkids. You got 6?
6.
I actually know how old mine are.
Okay, that's good.
They're all serving the Lord too. Isn't that awesome?
That's good.
How about yours?
That's good. Yes, sir.
Did you do your job?
Did pretty good job.
Yeah.
Pretty good job.
God helps us, doesn't He?
He does.
So, did you go to college somewhere?
Went to West Texas State. It's now West Texas A&M.
And where is that?
Canyon, Texas.
In West Texas, of course, but
yes,
what
sir.
town?
Canyon.
Canyon, Texas.
Canyon, Texas. It's just outside of Amarillo.
Okay.
And graduated there with a degree in business.
Yeah.
Went to work for oil and gas companies.
So let me guess, growing up from the time you were a little boy, you wanted to work with a Southern Christian home, and you wanted to work with lots of children and staff, but no, you went to be a businessman.
Right. Left school, changed my degree to accounting because they were hiring accountants.
Yeah.
In the oil companies back in 1975, 1979. Mm-hmm. And went to work for Diamond Shamrock and did the corporate world for several years.
So how'd you make that leap from all the way around business to somehow in the past 5 years end up in Morrilton, Arkansas, working with Southern Christian Home?
Yes, sir. Well, when I grew up, I have a sister. She's a year older than I am.
So did your older sister raise you like mine did?
She did.
3 years older than me, and she says, you know, Perry, I raised you and your brother. And I said, well, look what you did to us, sis.
Yeah.
Look what you did to us.
Yes, sir.
Makes her mad.
Yeah, she's trying to retire over there, but she's still mothering, and she's a grandmother, and still lives in Amarillo. So we grew up there. My parents, we went to the church there in Amarillo, and we have a home in Amarillo, Texas called High Plains Children's Home.
Okay.
And we always help. We used to always help the children and the house parents there at High Plains.
As volunteers?
As volunteers.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you see our Christmas pictures back when I was 9, 10, 11 years old, there's always an extra child in the picture. And people always, my grandkids now ask,
Who's that?
Who's this? And because we were like relief parents for house parents.
It'll get you every time.
Yes, sir. And then in 1999, I made the move from banking and finance and became the assistant director of High Plains Children's Home. And so we ran High Plains Children's Home for 20 years.
Had you been serving on the board or as an advisor to the home or just as a volunteer?
We were just volunteer, and I was deacon in the church back in those days. And so went to work for him full time. One of my good friends, Craig Howard, was the executive director, and he's a marketing development type personality, and I came more from the accounting side, so I was more of operations. And once he got it up to where we felt comfortable of pulling 2 salaries out of the High Plains Children's Home, we made the move permanent. And
how many kids, we got 45 seconds, how many kids back then were at High Plains when you came on?
There were about 30, 32.
That's a day's work. How many houses was that? Probably 3 or 4?
We had 4.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And somehow you made your way from Texas to the promised land right here in Arkansas. And you've been here a number of years now. So we always want to talk to our audience and let them know, even at Southern Christian Home in Morrilton, there is, just like in High Plains, there's opportunities to volunteer and to serve.
Sure.
They can reach out to you, and the TV crew will put something on the screen here a little bit about your web address, your contact information. We need you to get involved because ministry to children changes lives. We're going to take a brief break and we'll be right back.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Our special guest, Gary Gibson with the Southern Christian Children's Home in Morrilton, Arkansas, raised in North Texas.
Yes,
served literally as a volunteer and then as a executive director of High Plains Children's Home.
Assistant director.
And somehow, some years ago, you did make your way to Morrilton. Tell us about that transition. How did the call of God work in your life getting you to Arkansas to Southern Christian?
Well, when Craig and I took over High Plains Children's Home in 1999, there were a lot of financial issues with the home.
Many challenges ministering to hurting children, huh?
Yes, sir. And we were more of the background of business-minded men, just with the love of Christ in our heart.
Yeah.
And so we weren't educators or psychologists or counselors of any form. But the service was to bring the home and make it stable, so it could be sustainable. And so by 1999, we established and reached those goals, and it was in good financial condition, and we began looking for men that could replace us. And Craig stayed on as the director of the foundation to help funding for the home to continue, and we brought on some younger men to take over the operation of the home. And that's when Southern Christian put out some feelers for someone to maybe come and look at the operation here in Morrilton. So my wife and I came over and took a look at the operation, see what was going on, see if we were a fit. Not sure why we even made that leap. We both grew up in Amarillo, lived our whole life there, stayed right there in Texas.
So when did you make that leap? 2019 or before?
2019.
So how's it been living in the land of opportunity?
It's great. I love it over here. I love the weather, the climate, the trees, the
So I have two questions.
traffic.
Two questions. How's High Plains doing in North Texas?
They're doing great.
Going strong?
Yes, sir. Those guys are better than me over there.
Well, there's no success without a successor.
That's right.
And that's really the mark of leadership, isn't it? That things go to a higher level once you've kind of passed the baton.
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit now about Southern Christian Children's Home. How many children on any given day do you have?
Yes, sir. We have housing for 29 kids on our campus.
How many houses is that?
4.
4 houses.
2 of them are set up as resource homes under the child placing license. We hold 2 licenses, and the second license is a residential care. So you
are a placement agency.
We're a placement agency as well as a residential
So anyone
care.
in the Morrilton area, probably 25, 30 miles of Morrilton, that's interested in knowing more about fostering, mentoring, and adopting, they can contact y'all. Y'all have a team that will kind of school them, walk them through the process?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We have 2, we have what I think is the best group of caseworkers and social workers in the state of Arkansas. We have over 30 years of experience with DHS and DCFS between 2 individuals, Charlie Arnold and Anissa Ballou. And those 2 individuals run our foster care recruiting program, as well as build case plans for all of the kids that are in our residential program.
But y'all, we don't really need more foster parents, do we, in the state?
Not very many. We could use 1,300 in the morning. Would be good.
Because there's hundreds of foster children waiting and looking not only for a foster home, but for a permanent family, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me a little bit about Gary. We got 3.5 minutes, and here's your chance. Tell me about your encounter with Jesus Christ and what role did that play, not even growing into business, and how that part of your life really has led you into the High Plains Children's Ministry and now into Southern Christian.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about your faith in Christ. How'd that happen? Vacation Bible School, during the preaching at church, Mama did it to you at home. What happened?
Yes, sir. I'm a blessed young man.
Yes, you are. You're blessed and you're young. I agree.
I grew up with my mother and father. My dad was from Erie, Oklahoma. My mother's from Amarillo, Texas, and been to church every day of my life. Never had any doubt of God and our Creator, the one we should praise.
Now, I attended Church of Christ with a friend of mine in Jonesboro. Back in the day, they had them hushers. You know them hushers?
Yes,
if you talked, they'd come around and tell you to hush.
Yes, sir.
Were you a husher when you grew up?
That's the way we all grew up.
So them hushers, if you visited too much during church as a kid, they weren't your parent. They'd just come get you and take you to the back.
That's your thumper. Is
everything.
It was a thump.
They'd get your attention, wouldn't they?
Yes, sir.
So how'd you encounter Christ Jesus?
Well, I was baptized into Christ when I was 15.
Yeah.
It was just the next step in my upbringing.
Yeah. You had to have a personal encounter,
Yes, sir.
not just a church encounter.
And we did I did the church thing just my entire life. My wife grew up at the First Baptist Church in Amarillo. And so when we were first married, we did both services.
Yeah.
We'd go to the early church at the Baptist church, and then we'd go.
So your genealogy is interesting because you got a Texas dad and an Oklahoma mom and a Baptist mom and a Church of Christ dad.
Yeah.
And now you're at Southern Christian Children's Home. God's good, isn't he? Steps of a righteous man are ordered. Do you see God's order in your life?
I do, and and what I wanted to say and what I need to say is that I've always gone through the motion. I've always believed in God and Jesus as our Savior.
Yeah.
I don't think the Spirit of God really entered my heart till right before I moved to Arkansas.
Well, that's because this is the natural state. It's only natural to be a fired up, on fire believer in Jesus Christ here.
And so it's now, I see people different. I interact different with people.
Yeah.
Now that I'm out of my comfort zone of being in the panhandle of Texas.
Yeah.
And so it's a great opportunity for me to share the gospel of Christ with families that are in need, and I can make a living for my family at the same time.
And your family. We're going to take a brief break. We're going to show a video from Project Zero of a young child or two that are looking for a forever family. So we'll be right back with Gary Gibson. God bless you.
Why do you want to be adopted?
Because I don't want to be growing up without a family and without a mother and a dad.
You ready?
No. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. What do they say in the movies when they're ready? When they're ready to roll? Do you know what they say?
Action.
You want to say action?
Okay.
All right, ready? We're ready.
3, 2, 1, action. Hello, my name is Maddie, and I'm 7 years old. I like to exercise, and I like to play, and I like to go to school. I like to go to urban air.
And what is that?
It's a trampoline park.
Can you do any flips?
Yes, I like to do flips on trampolines. When I grow up, I want to be a teacher and have good kids.
Why do you want to be a teacher?
So I can teach people and let them grow up and learn. And so they can be like me when I grow up.
If you could pick one animal to be, what kind of animal would you want to be?
I pick vampire.
Sure.
Vampire.
Why is that?
So I can protect myself.
So tell me, what are other things you'd want in your family?
The family that I want to go to, I want them to have a baby puppy, and I don't want them to have kids. I want me to be the only kid there. I know I said I didn't want kids, but I want a baby sister. And I'll be good to that baby sister.
What are some activities you'd want to do with your family?
Do puzzles. If they have a trampoline, go outside and jump on a trampoline. Play with the puppy. Color. Go shopping with them.
If there was a family watching this and they were thinking about adopting you, what would you want them to know about you?
You might don't want to adopt me because I'm bad.
I don't think you're bad. And we think there's a family out there for everyone, no matter what you've done in the past. Do you believe that? If you could have one wish, what would you wish for?
to have a family.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Our special guest, Gary Gibson, with Southern Christian Children's Home in Morrilton, Arkansas, a Texan who's now moved and experienced revival right here in the state of Arkansas. And Gary, we're excited that you're here and the great job you're doing at Southern Christian. When I shared with my directors of Second Chance Youth Ranch, Bill and Rachel Hubbard, who are on vacation today in Mexico, they said, man, Gary's doing a great job in Morrilton. Isn't that good to know people are talking behind your back?
That's good. Yeah, yeah, we know they do.
Kind of like the old country, the country singer says, let's give them something to talk about. Yeah. So let's give them something to talk about. Let's talk about Southern Christian Home. You've been up here now about 5 years.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about the campus, what goes on there, what are the needs? We're on television to find out how can our viewers get involved in fostering, mentoring, and adopting, and if they're in your area, how can they get involved in making a difference in the life of a hurting child?
All right, good. Well, I'll talk as quick as I can. We're on the original campus of Harding University. So Southern Christian Children's Home is located at 100 West Harding Street in Morrilton, Arkansas. Yeah. And that's the original building of Harding University. The building was built in 1920 as the Arkansas.
But Harding's in Searcy now?
And then Searcy moved from Morrilton.
Yeah, okay.
Harding moved from Morrilton to Searcy in 1936.
But you are on that campus,
and that's the campus that we have now. So there's 92 acres there. We have many big school buildings and ancillary homes out there.
What are they used for predominantly now?
There's some storage. I'm remodeling a couple of the buildings. So we have plans. We try to take a holistic approach to fostering these kids and the special needs that are needed for these children.
Tell us what a holistic approach is. Somebody says, I've heard that word. What's that mean exactly?
So to me, that means that we bring children through the DCFS system into Morrilton, Arkansas. Many times they come out of Pulaski County or Sebastian County or other counties outside of Conway County where Morrilton's located. And just the trauma of that displacement is enough for those kids to try to embrace. And so when we bring them to the program at Southern Christian, we immediately put them in one of our resource homes or our independent living home, depending on their age. If they're 14 and up, they'll be in the independent living. And instead of putting them in the public school, the large system, and creating more trauma, we put them in a little campus environment classroom that we have there on campus.
What kind of curriculum do y'all use?
So we use the public school
you do the public school curriculum.
So they're actually a public school curriculum. They're actually enrolled in the Morrilton School District there. It's a South Conway County School District. But we have a partnership with the school district to take our resident students, and we keep them on our campus for the first couple of semesters.
Let them get stabilized, traumatic, get over the trauma, etc.
Right. So the holistic approach is we take them immediately to the doctors at Morrilton Medical Clinic. We take all their psychological evaluations. They see our therapist. We have a partnership with an entity called the Therapy Monkey, which is run by JD and Erica Kinnemer, and they're occupational therapists. And so we do their assessment within the first 2 weeks. We do mental health assessment and psychological information we attain just as quick as we can in the first 2 weeks. We're assessing their curriculum levels and where they need mastery in certain contents, whether it's literacy or math, or because many times, as you well know, they may be 8th grade by age, but we're reading at a 2nd or 3rd grade level.
Yeah, they've gone from school to school. They've gotten way behind and just kind of pushed on. So what about church? You take them to the local church where you attend, or do the house themselves get to choose whatever churches?
Right, each house parent, resource parent or house parent can choose one of their churches that they want to attend that best fits their children. Yeah. And we have youth ministers that are involved with our program.
Yeah.
We make them very familiar with our children and the emotions that are involved, the way that we need to handle these relationships as we move forward. And so we have 4 churches that our children attend, all churches of Christ in the immediate area there. And
do y'all have a chapel or anything there at the homes on campus, or is that pretty much off campus in the local church?
We do it in the local churches.
And I guess the house parents themselves could have Bible study and that kind of stuff, like
sure.
any family could.
Yeah. That's a major part of our program. And we do every morning, staff and house parents that are available, we open every day with prayer.
Sure.
And we want to be an agency that's in full compliance with the state of Arkansas from a licensing standpoint as well as DCFS. But we, as a staff, want to be permeated with the love of Christ.
Yeah, absolutely.
And spreading the gospel of Christ in everything we do.
We got a minute and a half. What can people do in your geographical location? What can they do to help the children in the care of Southern Christian? What can they do? And what can Southern Christian do as a placement agency to help people that may have interest in fostering, mentoring, and adopting?
Sure. Well, we have Miss Anissa Ballou and Charlie Arnold lead up our foster care recruiting program. And so we can provide all the resources necessary to convert someone's local home into a licensed and foster care program, or they could even develop into an adoptive parent. So we can handle all of those situations. We're certified and qualified to handle all the information that's needed for to bring a home in and find a loving place for children that are in need.
What kind of needs do y'all have at the home?
At the home, we have commissary
sheets,
needs,
pillows?
Everything that's in a house, everything that's in a that you do in your home, whatever you do for recreation, whatever you do to educate your kids. We have a 230-acre farm where we run 30 head of cattle. So we have 30 mama cows and 2 bulls, and so all the resources that are needed to run a farm, to run a 4-H program.
Yeah.
We run our therapy clinic across the street for OTPT speech.
We're running out of time.
We throw it all together, and we try to bring the hearts of children to the feet of Jesus.
So that's what it's all about, and we need you to get involved. Gary needs you to contact their home. Information's on your screen there earlier, so make sure you contact Southern Christian Children's Home or Second Chance Youth Ranch right here at 2CYR-TV. We'll see you next week. God bless you.